Good evening, everybody. I know folks are just getting logged in here, and so we're going to give it one more minute, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We're so glad everybody's joining us this evening. So again, we'll get started here in just another minute. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get rolling because we have lots of great information that we want to cover this evening, and we want to make sure that we get to as many of your questions as we possibly can. Thanks again so much, everybody, for joining us tonight for another edition of our Tennessee Family Series. My name is Adam White. I'm from New Student Orientation here at UT. I'll serve as your moderator for this evening. We have some veteran panelists joining us tonight as well. We're running it back from about 6 weeks ago. So we got folks here from what we call our Big Four: housing, dining, a one-stop, and parking. And so I want to go ahead and allow each of our panelists to introduce themselves. However, before we do that, for those that maybe have not participated in one of our family series webinars before, please ask us questions. That's why we're here tonight, and you can do that in the Q&A feature here on Zoom, or if you're joining us via YouTube, you can ask questions in those comments as well. So please ask questions. We have plenty of time tonight to get to a bunch of them, if not all of them. Please note that if we don't get to your question live on air, that we have a fantastic team that will be working behind the scenes and answering questions via chat as well. So kind of keep paying attention to that chat box there, that Q&A box, if you do ask a question, because you may receive a response via chat instead. So let's go ahead and start our introductions, and then again, we'll see what kind of questions you have, and we'll get this thing rolling. Stacy, if you wouldn't mind starting us off, just folks provide your name, department that you're representing tonight, and you just want to give a quick elevator spiel on some of the main things that our new families might be interested in knowing about.
Sure. I'm Stacy Lane, Assistant Director for One Stop Student Services. We are located in Hodges Library on the ground floor. If you need to reach us, you can give us a call, email us, or come by and see us if you're on campus or close to being on campus. And then we answer questions for admissions, financial aid scholarships, bursar, and the university registrar. So we've gotten the students through admissions. Now we're getting them ready to start the fall semester. So this is an exciting time for us. We're excited for the students to come back in the fall.
Awesome. Thanks, Stacy. Moira, if you could go next, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Moira Bindner. I'm the Communications Manager for Parking and Transit. We are so excited for the students to come back to campus. I'm excited personally because I love the energy when the students are back on campus and being able to connect with them. Parking and Transit, we meet the needs of our campus community of students, staff, faculty, visitors, special events, coordinating all that sort of good stuff. We also have a bus system, the T-bus, that runs throughout campus. So those are the two pieces of the puzzle that we manage, and thrilled to have everybody on the webinar tonight, and go Vols.
Thanks, Moira. Ashley?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Arthur, and I am the marketing coordinator for Vol Dining. And so we are here to help your students eat while they're on campus. We have over 40 locations spread out, so hopefully we can help you put your mind at ease knowing that your students will be fed.
Thanks, Ashley. And Richard?
Hi, I'm Richard Swearingen. I'm the Director for Administration with University Housing. We house students. We're excited to have them back on campus. That was just such a great energy when everybody's on campus and the residence halls are full.
Outstanding. And we're getting close. And so tonight we hope to talk generally about a lot of the topics represented here tonight, but then also maybe dive into some specifics, as we know the semester is quickly approaching, and folks are wanting to know about move-in, or specifically about where to eat during those first kind of few days. And so don't worry, we will make sure that we cover all of those things. So with that being said, once again, friendly reminder, ask questions in the Q&A feature, and we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. Richard, I'm going to go back to you here. If you wouldn't mind, we already have some questions coming in about move-in, of course. And so could you just shed a little light on just the move-in process as a whole, and when folks might be receiving more details regarding the move-in process?
Sure. Move-in is on the horizon. At this point, most students have made a move-in appointment. Move-in is by appointment only. So you do need to go into, if you have not yet, go into your university housing portal. You will find a tab there for fall 2022 move-in. And it's a pretty easy process to find an open appointment and book that for yourself. The appointments are tied to the building that you're assigned to. So if your assignment changes between now and August, you'll want to go in and cancel your old appointment and make a new one. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward process. Any student can do that. I noticed a question in the Q&A about receiving an email about it. If your student missed an email, that doesn't matter. As long as they have a room assignment, the appointment system is live and ready for them.
Thanks, Richard. Hey, Moira, if you wouldn't mind piggybacking off of that question, can you talk a little bit about parking during move-in as a whole?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Adam. We have been working hard creating our map for move-in for this year. Actually, we just finished it today, I think. And parents can park in any of the student parking areas. They're marked with an N or a C. We just ask that you don't park in the staff areas, but we're going to have a map for you. We're going to have a map that shows where all the residence halls are and where all the parking lots are that are available for you. So you will get a specific route that you will take to that dorm, a specific exit route after you've unloaded everything to go park your car and then come back to the dorm to get it settled in the room. So we will have information coming out for you with that map. We will also have information on our websites. Both UT Housing has got a move-in page, and Parking and Transit will have one that will have the same information.
Fantastic. Thanks, Maura. I know there's a lot of moving pieces during move-in. And so I also want to go ahead and ask Ashley if she wouldn't mind piggybacking on this topic as well. Ashley, do you mind talking a little bit about what dining options will be available for our students during move-in, and then of course kind of during those days leading up to the start of classes?
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of questions surrounding this topic that we've been receiving. So the meal plan will start on August 22nd. That is the meal plan that's on your student's account. However, I know that move-in begins very early this year, especially with recruitment and capacity and that nature. So with that, you will have some information coming out. So make sure your student checks their emails. It will be coming from the university and Vol Dining. The university is going to pick up the meals while your student is here. So anything that your student needs to eat while they're here, the university is going to provide meals for them in our locations. That's on top of the meal plan that you already have that will start August 22nd. So as soon as that kind of week-long meal plan is over, the meal plan will start August 22nd. That's your 7-day unlimited or 7-day or 5-day unlimited, whatever meal plan you have chosen.
Outstanding. And just a quick piece of advice, like don't hesitate, families, when you're on campus during move-in, to ask any of the wonderful staff members that you're going to be interacting with during that process, whether it's folks from Richard's team or Ashley's team or Moira's team, or the orientation team. Please just ask us and we'd be more than happy to remind you about what options you do have while you're on campus. Let's see here. What else do we got? Stacy, I want to throw it to you. We had a question come in asking about how long does it normally take for UT to get the info into studentaid.gov so that it populates and then families can determine their loan servicer.
Sure. So I'm going to go back one step on that.
Financial aid has been released to the student's MyUTK account. So that is aid from being awarded from the FAFSA, state aid, and then university aid that the student is eligible for. That studentaid.gov comes into play if a parent has applied for a PLUS loan, a parent loan for undergraduate students. That's where that application is. Normally, a FAFSA or loans coming in from studentaid.gov takes us anywhere from 3 to 5 business days to process and put on the account. Anytime we put new aid on the student's MyUTK, they receive an email to their vol mail. So it's pretty quick. The other little piece of that is determining who your servicer is. That will take a little bit of time. That assignment will happen after we disperse the loans and pay for payment due date. So that will take a little bit of time, but that information would be on studentaid.gov. But even though you don't have a lender assigned, it doesn't mean that we can't have the loan money.
Awesome. Thanks, Stacey. I appreciate you taking that a step back as well. Richard, I'm going to throw it towards you again. Could you talk a little bit about the process of doing laundry if students live in the halls and how they go about accessing that? How do they pay for it? Is it on their card, et cetera, things like that?
Well, you separate whites from darks, as I'm given to understand. It's best not to dry heavy towels and denims with lightweight things, but otherwise it's pretty simple. Laundry is, depending on your perspective, if you're a student, laundry is free. If you're a parent, laundry is included in the rent. You don't need to come to school with a giant sack full of quarters. So it is all free play laundry. Your card access will get you into the laundry room. There's a laundry in every building. Some buildings, there's a laundry on each floor. Some it's all one big laundry room central to the whole building. But it's really pretty simple. They are high efficiency washers and dryers. That's a question we get pretty often, is what detergent do we use? You can use high efficiency detergent in the washers. I actually am not sure if you can still buy detergent that's not high efficiency, but that's how they are set up. Yeah, I think that's everything I can say about it.
And that was separating the lights from the darks. Is that just so did I get that right? Okay.
Your mileage may vary.
Thanks, Richard. Moira, I want to throw this one to you. I don't think we've answered this one this year yet when you've been on, but can you talk about when families want to visit their student throughout the year and their student lives on campus? What should they do? Where should they park? Is there a tent pass that they can get?
Yes. There's 2 options. One is you could park in the Vol Hall garage, which is off of White Avenue, right at the Vol Hall residence. That's where you enter it from that side of the street. Don't park in the White Avenue garage because that's a permit only garage. But that's an hourly or half-hour rate if you're only just coming for quick. But if you want to stay longer, it would be $5 a day for the parking permit. They are available at the Circle Park information booth, which is right next to the Torchbearer, 7:30 to 4:30 p.m. Now, the only time that's not available is for home games. Those are not available for home games, but that's how you could do it. And we don't tell you in advance where we're going to assign you because we have so many events and things going on campus. We have to decide day by day where you would need to be able to park. That's it, Adam.
Thanks, Moira. I appreciate it. And this is just a general reminder for most of the topics that we're discussing tonight, but all of our departments that are with us this evening have wonderful websites with a lot of fantastic information. Most of what you'll hear can be found on these websites as well. So don't worry, you don't have to memorize or remember everything that you hear tonight. Check out the websites. There'll be great tools during your time, during your students' time as a volunteer. So let's go back, Ashley, if you wouldn't mind. I know you all do a fantastic job of recruiting and hiring students to work for Vol Dining throughout the year. If we have students out there, families of students who might be interested in an on-campus job and specifically maybe with Vol Dining, what do you recommend they do at this point?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways you can go about that. So I will go ahead and plug in there. If you're a local student or you're coming to the area sooner than, or you're off campus and you want to start sooner, we are hiring now and you can start tomorrow. So you can go on to our website under contact us, email our HR. You can DM us on our social medias at Vol Dining, or the easiest way is if you go on to airmark.com and just search through careers. You know, you can filter it out to Knoxville, Tennessee, colleges and universities, and you can find what works best for you. We have, like I said, 40 locations. So if you want to learn how to make your favorite drink at Starbucks, or if you want to work at Chick-fil-A in the dining halls, or we even have some opportunities like internships. I personally am looking for some marketing interns for the fall. We have HR interns, nutrition interns, and we're also looking for a technical IT intern. So we have lots of opportunities there. And like I said, just go on to airmark.com and search your careers. And we do start pay for students at $13 an hour, and we'll work around your schedules and be flexible.
Thanks so much, Ashley. And I know there are so many other departments on campus that hire students throughout the year as well. There's a fantastic resource called Handshake that is free for students to access with their UT information. And so family members, if you know your students might be interested in obtaining a campus job at any point throughout the year, know that there are tons of opportunities to do so. And Handshake or airmark.com are great kind of quick places to check out where everything's kind of consolidated together and you can kind of scroll through all the different options. Thanks again, Ashley. I appreciate it. Stacy, I want to throw it to you next, if you don't mind. Can you talk a little bit about the process if we have family members out there who might want to access their students' information at any point, or just, the whole FERPA thing? What do you got for us? Yeah.
Sure. So once a student has been registered for 1 or more credit hours, then the student would have to go on their MyUTK account and add authorized users. So there's a FERPA consent for the registration side that can be added to the student's account. And that one's kind of okay. There's not a whole lot of information we'll give out over the phone or through email to the student, let alone an authorized user when it comes to their registration, their class schedule, how many hours they're taking, the specific courses they're in. So that's a nice one to have for release. But the one that we find that's most handy is the authorized user for financials. And so the student can go on their MyUTK and add whoever they would like for their financials, and that individual that's listed will get a portal that they can go into, see the charges, the financial aid that's going towards the charges, make payment. But there's a portal for the financial side, but there is not one for the registrar side. But so if a student knows that they're not going to be making all the phone calls to One Stop asking about their account, then they'll need to list that individual on their MyUTK as an authorized user for financials.
Well said. Thanks, Stacy. I appreciate it. Moira, I want to go to you next, if you don't mind. I want to talk about commuter students a little bit, and specifically, how can commuter students get around campus? Are they able to use the UT transportation and different shuttles free of charge?
Yes. The UT bus, the T bus is free of charge. We have 4 routes that run during the day: the Ag Express, Neyland Express, the Hill, and the Fort. The Fort does a loop up around Laurel Hall and then back to campus. So that is actually a great opportunity for people that live in the Fort Sanders neighborhood, is to just hop on the Fort bus. If they're closer in the Fort, then most students would walk. Some of the apartment complexes, like across the river by the medical center, will have shuttles. And there's a couple that in South Knoxville that have a CAT bus. CAT is the Knoxville Area Transportation. So there are options, but the on-campus transportation is free. There is also a trolley, and it is literally an adorable red trolley that goes through campus. The orange line goes through campus and it goes downtown. That's also for free. And there are 2 other trolleys, the blue line and the green line, downtown, that can take people to the Old City and can take people out to the Civic Coliseum, where our wonderful Knoxville Ice Bears minor league hockey team plays. And so that's another option for entertainment. But we have an arrangement also with the CAT buses, the Knoxville Area Transit. So if you live a little bit further away and that bus might be a better option, there are low-cost passes, educational passes that we coordinate with them, and you can buy those at the student union. So the CAT buses have student rates for UT students.
And more, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a great spot on the UT app that students can view.
Thank you.
Yes. To kind of follow along where
Absolutely.
the appropriate bus might be, right?
Absolutely, yes. On the Tennessee app, which is different than the Vol Life app, there is an icon that says Ride the T. During the school year, students can go on and look at the Hill route or look at the Neyland Express route, and they will see little dots moving around in the color of that route, because all of our buses have GPS. And so the students can find out where the bus is at any given time and see how long before it will get to their next location. So there's, again, 4 during the day, and then 1, the late night, which runs all throughout campus. We also have 2 buses for disability services, the access during the day, and you work with student disability services to get the bus pass for that one. And then you call that one on demand, like a half an hour before your class, and the T-Link, which is the primary disability service late at night. It also serves as a help for us for some of the students that might park further away late at night, not near a bus stop, and need to get back to their dorm. They can call the T-Link to pick them up and take them back to their dorm. Now, it's not Uber, so it might not be there in 5 minutes. They might have to wait 15 or 20, but the T-Link can come and get them if they do end up parking a little further away. Thanks, Adam.
Appreciate it, Moira. And again, I know that's a lot of great information. Check out the Parking Transit website where you can kind of recap a lot of again, the great information that Moira was just kind of going over. Richard, I got a couple quick hitters for you here that I'm hoping that you can kind of go through. One, can you talk about the process of purchasing loft kits, and if that's possible, and if it is, how do students go about doing that during move-in and kind of reorganizing their room that way?
Yeah, if your student is assigned to one of the presidential courtyard buildings, that's North Carrick, South Carrick, Reese Hall, they should have received information already, or they can find information in the University Housing Portal about renting or buying? About procuring a loft kit. United Residence Hall Council has partnered with a vendor, and this is one of their major fundraisers where you can do that. Those lofts will lift the bed in those 3 buildings up to a level that you can put furniture underneath. Most of our buildings, the beds are either pre-lofted or they are configured in a way that I would call a junior loft. The mattress comes up to about waist height. So there's plenty of storage underneath, and there's a few slots that you can adjust the mattress up and down on that head and foot board. Some of our students set up their own configurations with cinder blocks or with bed risers that you can buy from pretty much any home goods store. There's a lot of options, but if you are in those 3 buildings I listed, North Carrick, South Carrick, Reese, there is a pre-designed kit that is set up to accommodate the bed frame style in those buildings.
Wonderful. Thanks, Richard. Can you talk to me about the micro fridge? Those come in all the rooms for students.
Every room on campus has both a refrigerator and a microwave. The micro fridge is what you would consider a dorm size fridge. That's really helpful on camera. It's about that big. The dorm size fridge, and it's got a microwave bolted on top of it. That's why it's called a micro fridge. We do provide that in every room. We ask that students not bring their own. For one thing, it's going to get awfully crowded. For another, it just has to do with overloading circuits when you've got so many things plugged in. If your student needs an additional microwave, well, I don't think we've ever had a student need an additional microwave. If your student needs an additional refrigerator for medical or faith-based purposes, we can provide that as well. Just reach out to us and let us know.
Last one for you, Richard, and I'll give you a breather here. Can you talk about the process if students want or need to receive mail and they're living on campus?
Yeah, all the mail, all paper mail is delivered to the residence hall. Your student will have a mailbox there in their building. They can just go check their mail every morning, and if you sent them something, it will be there. If you send a package, that goes through our campus package handling, and it will be in most cases delivered to a package locker. There are centralized package locker locations on campus nearby the residence halls. Your student will receive a text message that they have a package ready for them. They go and they tap their phone and a door pops open, and then they have their package. If you're shipping something very large that won't fit in those package lockers, they will deliver it directly to the residence hall. The shipping address, mailing address for every residence hall is on each hall's website. So if you go to housing.utk.edu and look up your student's building, you will find their address where you can send them stuff. We know that some parents like to pre-ship items for move-in. We don't have capacity to store all that for long, so we ask that you ship it no earlier than 1 week before move-in.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate you going through all that for me.
You bet.
Stacy, I should have mentioned this a few minutes ago when we were talking about student employment on campus, but would you mind going over work study a little bit and how students can get involved with work study and kind of, so I guess, what that is?
Sure. So federal work study is funding that we get from the federal government for students to work on campus. That award has to be offered to the student on their MyUTK. I believe the financial aid office sent out those notifications this week. It is a small pool of money that we get from the federal government. So if your student or yourself did not get that award and you're interested in work study, you can send us an email to One Stop and we'll get that over to the scholarships team or the financial aid team to for them to determine if they have funding to allocate. So what happens is that award goes on the account. That award, even if the student accepts it, those funds do not go towards the charges on the account for payment due date. Those funds are there for a student to secure a job on campus, turn in a timesheet every 2 weeks, and get paid those funds out of that award. So it's not a lump sum, it's every 2 weeks that money is given to the student. There's a portal that the students would get access to look at jobs that are funded for work study, but the student doesn't have to wait for work study to be offered. There are jobs on campus that are being offered or paid through the department's budget. So Handshake is where a student can go and look at those jobs. I'll just plug One Stop. We're always hiring students, and that is work study funding or student assistant funding we pay out of our budget. So there's a couple different ways to get jobs on campus, or even with Airmark, theirs works probably a little bit different. But yeah, so federal work study is an award that's put on the student's MyUTK account. They have to accept it and then go find employment. And then we give those funds out every 2 weeks after turning in a timesheet.
Excellent. I appreciate it, Stacy. Let's see here. Moira, I want to go to you just kind of generally just about the process of purchasing permits. I know we're getting close here. And so can you talk about that process for those that maybe haven't purchased those yet? And then are students expected to have those permits on their vehicles starting day one, or is there some sort of grace period?
Great question, Adam. Thanks. Well, if somebody has already purchased their parking permit, they've purchased the wrong one because parking permits are not available until August the 1st. For those living in the residence halls, we are going through a process of finding all the people that are living in the halls. So you have to be registered to live in one of the halls to purchase them. We need to make sure that no commuters living like in the apartments next door are buying them, because the permits are $294 for the full year. Again, August the 1st is when they will go on sale. They have overnight parking privileges. Commuters do not. Their permits are $188. And sometimes the commuters try to get creative and buy a non-commuter parking permit. Well, we don't have space for them. We just have the space for those people that'll be in the dorm. So, and plus it's a $200 fine, and you'd be responsible if you sold your parking permit to somebody else. You'd be responsible for all their tickets. So please don't let anybody talk you into that. But they go on sale. Students do not need to bring a car to campus. Some people think just because they're coming from a long distance, they have to bring a car. It is not required. They're not driving to classes. They're taking the bus, they're walking. And we have limited parking. We don't have parking for every single person. So if you really don't need to bring a car, if you're not working off campus or whatever, it is challenging because parking fills up fastest in the closed slots. Parking is not assigned at UT. Parking is not assigned. So they are not picking a garage. They're not picking a lot. It's first come, first parked. And if they come home late at night, they may be a little further away, but that's why we have the T-Link bus to come and pick people up. So again, August 1st, you'll print out the temporary one. Students are required to have the permit in their vehicle by August 24th, the first day of classes. But the permits that go on sale on August 1st, the temporary one, can be put on your dashboard because it's valid from that date. So if you're coming in for band, if you're coming in for sorority recruitment, if you're coming in early for Ignite, that permit is valid. So you can have that permit in your vehicle when you arrive on campus. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Moira. I appreciate it. I need to make sure that I return the fake parking permit that I purchased since it's not August 1 for first. So appreciate that reminder. Let's see here. Ashley, I want to go to you if that's okay. Can you talk about where students can access their dining dollars balance, and if our family members need to add more to it throughout the year, what that process looks like?
Yeah, so dining dollars come with your meal plan, specifically for the first-time freshmen living on campus, 300 or 400, depending on your plan, and the others will vary. With that, it kind of acts like a gift card. So if you go to the register at Chick-fil-A and you order a meal, your receipt is going to have what dining dollar amount you have left. You can also access that on the MyUTK Ball Life app, as well as online on your account. If you want to put more on, that's great. You can go onto our website, ut.campusdish.com, and we'll put all of our information in the chat later for you all. And you can just go on to meal plans, dining dollars, add more. It goes through the university portal, but that's an easy way to get there. I will say that we will run promotions throughout the school year. That's why I say it's very important that students check their emails and they see all of the information that comes through all of our social media accounts, because we'll post like if you add a certain amount of dining dollars and you get a certain amount free. So just make sure that you're looking at that, but that's an easy way to go on and do that. I did want to ask, there's a lot of people asking about the marching band camp. If you can tell me what date that is, I can type my answer to you. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Ashley. Richard, throwing it back your way. I got a question here about renter's insurance and if it's recommended for students that are living on campus or if it's some sort of scam. I wanted to get your thoughts, or if you had any thoughts on that topic.
All insurance is a scam. That's not true. I didn't say that. That is very not true. Here's the thing. Renter's insurance is probably not a scam. I would advise that you check out the company that's offering it to you and look at their reviews, look at their reputation. But renter's insurance is a real thing if your student needs it. That's a decision that each family has to make depending on the valuables that they're bringing. Our advice would be probably you need some sort of renter's insurance, but check also with your homeowner's policy if you have one. Your family insurance in a lot of cases considers your student while at college to still be within your household. Again, your mileage may vary depending on your policy, so talk to your current insurance agent. It's very likely that they offer renter's insurance. But yeah, do something.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it. Moira, I want to go back to you, if that's okay. We just had a question come in about any transportation that helps students get to and from the airport, specifically during holidays or breaks, things like that.
Yeah, thanks. We do not have an airport shuttle. And what I advise families is the very first time, I would say, have the student take Uber or taxi to campus. From then on out, I would encourage them to find somebody who's got a car who can take you down to the airport. It's about 20 to 30 minutes. 30 minutes is in big traffic, which is, we don't have a lot of big traffic in Knoxville. Anyways, so that's what I would recommend. And then I would encourage to pay that friend with pizza or Starbucks, because that's what I would do. There are a lot of kids coming from out of state, folks, a lot. And so, you know, when students are going home for the holidays, they should be able to carpool with 6 people to get to the airport, because there will be a lot of people traveling there. The same with any students that are traveling in and out of Nashville. You can probably easily find somebody who lives in Nashville who could just drop you off at the airport. I know last spring break, there was some girls that were flying out of Nashville, and a bunch of sorority sisters said, yeah, we can carpool with you guys. We can take you over to that airport. So there is a way to do that. And I actually encourage it on campus too. I say, you know, if you don't want to bring a car, but you know your roommate or a friend has got one, just pay them in Starbucks to take you to Target. You don't have to sit by. There's amazing people on this campus, and there's wonderful students. So we can find you a way to get there.
Wonderful, appreciate it, Moira. Let's see here, Stacy. Could you talk a little bit about at this time, where scholarships are sitting, and if they've already posted to folks' accounts, or if they are coming soon, or what that timeline looks like?
Sure. Our financial aid scholarships team has been working hard to get all of that on the account. For the most part, university scholarships, so anything that was merit-based from the students' high school or transfer credits, anything that was merit-based off of the transcripts coming in from high school has already been put on the account. The ones that we're waiting on are departmental scholarships. So if you received a scholarship from Tickle College of Engineering, they are taking a moment to get those on. We're trying to get those on, hopefully, by the end of that first week of August. So I would say I haven't heard any different, but looking at your account, it should be correct. If there's something missing besides a departmental award, we know those are coming on shortly. I would reach out to us and see why it's missing, why it's not on the account. But for the most part, Hope Scholarship, the merit scholarships out of the admissions office from being admitted, all of those are on there. FAFSA financial aid should be on there. So if something's not looking right, this is a good time to reach out to us. We're 1 month away from payment due date, and it takes us a while to process things. So, especially if we're dealing with the federal government. So if you think that there is something wrong on the account, please reach out to us. We will start taking phone calls at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and we will be there until 5 p.m. tomorrow night. So if you need something, please reach out to us, and we will see what the issue is. I will also plug move-in weekend. You guys keep talking about that. We will, One Stop will only be open for in-person, on no phones are turned on, just in person on August 14th from 1 to 5. So it's a Sunday, and then Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st from 1 to 5. So if you're moving in, or if you move in early and you're here that week, most definitely come by and see us. But we are on the ground floor of Hodges Library the 14th, the 20th, and the 21st. But if something doesn't look right, please reach out to us now. We get closer to payment due date, and it's going to be tough to get everything ready for those funds to apply to your charges.
Stacy, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with One Stop in your opinion?
Yeah, so always email. We're receiving 400 or 500 a day.
Just a few.
Just a few. So we're trying for a 3-day turnaround. We get a little behind this time of season. So email, phone. And then, of course, if you're around the office, please stop by and see us. We don't have a wait time at all in person. That those 2 Sundays and that Saturday, we normally don't have a wait line or a wait time for coming and seeing us in person. Checks can be mailed into our bursar's office. If you want to use the MyUTK account or the authorized user portal to make payment, you can pay by e-check. So those are the fastest ways, is that e-check to get that payment into us. You guys get to talk about all the laundry and the beds and all that kind of stuff. And I got asked for money. I'm sorry.
Someone has to. We appreciate it, Stacy. Speaking of laundry, Richard, I have a follow-up question for you here. Our wonderful families, I know it's that time. They're prepping, they're buying stuff, they're filling up the spare room in their house with the supplies that they're going to be sending their students to campus with. What kind of detergent do the washers use? Can they use pods, liquid, all of the above? Is there anything that they don't use? Maybe is that a better way to phrase that question?
Don't think there's anything that they don't use, as long as it's actually laundry detergent. I mean, I wouldn't put toothpaste in there, but if it says high efficiency, it will work. As far as I know, it takes powder, but honestly, I mean, high efficiency detergent works fine. So go with that.
I would imagine the toothpaste example is nothing that you've actually seen before, right? Like that's just the stuff.
25 years in university housing, there's nothing I have not seen.
I had a feeling. Richard, hey, another quick question for you about move-in. Are there going to be carts and trolleys available at all the resident halls for folks to get their stuff to the room?
Yes, and that's a good reminder. Your move-in appointment is your unload time. That's your appointment to unload your vehicle, drop stuff on a cart, roll it up to your room, and unpack it after you've checked in. It is not your limited time to be there. So I know families want to stick around and say their goodbyes, go out to lunch. That's all welcome. You can do that. The move-in time is just to get unloaded, and there will be carts available. In some buildings, we'll have the carts out at the curb. In some buildings, you'll run into the building, get checked in, and you can borrow a cart from the front desk and roll it out. But we do have that equipment.
Fantastic. We're getting towards the kind of the final stretch here of our webinar for the evening. So family members, if you have any last minute questions at this time, please get those into the Q&A. We have time for just a couple more, but our team is still working furiously behind the scenes to answer as many as they can via the chat as well. Moira, I'm going to just go back to you here as we kind of slowly wrap things up. But any final thoughts from your end just regarding parking in transit and just general reminders or things that we just really want to hit home with our new incoming family members?
Yeah, I think that, the cars are optional. You don't need them. You've got the bus to get you around on campus. If you want to wait until second semester, the price gets cut in half to $147. That would happen about December 19th or so. But what I really want to stress is that it's on our website. Our parking permit prices, the student parking map for this year will be up on our website by next week, indicating where students can park. They have 23 options for residential halls, and they've got about 21 options for commuters. We have information about citations if they get a parking ticket. We have a program called Donations for Citations that can pay for their first ticket with 5 full-size canned goods. It's a program that's sponsored by SGA with Parking in Transit and benefits 2 pantries that are close to campus. Donations for Citations. It's a limited, so we don't have it for everybody with the first 500 citations. And we also have a remote lot. If your student is only bringing their car just to drive home for the holidays, it's only $100 for the full year. They buy the parking permit from our office. It's called a perimeter lot. But if they're just parking it for the entire semester, that's an option. Last thing is, some schools make students move cars on game day, but UT does not for residential students. They do not have to move their cars. Thanks, Adam.
Appreciate it, Moira. Hey, Moira, real quick before I let you off the hook here, can you just one more time? I think we had some folks hop in a little bit late, and that's totally fine. But where and when can folks plan to find out about where they're going to park during move-in? Real quick.
There will we'll actually have a map there and then map will be sent in advance. Also, it will also be on the parking website under move-in. Parking.utk.edu. Parking.utk.edu. Thank you.
Perfect, Moira. Thank you so much. Ashley, I wanna go to you here for your wrap up thoughts. Real quick, I have one question before you get to that point. We had somebody ask about a card for meal plan and for dining dollars, all the things. How do students get to eat on campus? What do they use to access the halls?
Yeah, so all that is going to be on your Vol card that you have, your ID. It actually is on your phone. Everything's on your phone now. You can't even see that. Everything's on your phone now, but you don't get a physical card anymore. And what's really cool is some students have it on their watches, so they'll come in and hit their watch when they slide in too. So that's all on that Vol card on your phone. And then just to wrap up, I just want to reiterate, and I'm going to try to talk slow because I know I talk really fast, that when you come in your move-in, since move-in starts early this year, that there will be opportunities for your students to eat on campus, that you don't have to worry about paying for that. That's going to be picked up by the university. Your meal plan that comes with your account will start on August 22nd. So that's when your meal plan that you're held liable for starts. Before then, we will have plenty of places open. Like I said, there will be more information coming out surrounding that. So just please make sure that you look at your email as that comes in. The only other thing I would want to reiterate is don't ever hesitate to ask questions. We have a lot of resources for you within all of the university, but specifically Vol Dining is what I can speak for. If you ever have any questions, feel free to DM us. The easiest way I can assure you're going to get an answer to your question is if you DM us on Instagram at Vol Dining, because I personally run that account. So please, I promise I will get to you an answer as soon as possible. And then if you do have any questions, come straight to the source. I know there's a lot of information around, but the best way to get an answer to your question is coming to that department specifically. But I'm excited to see you all in the fall. It just makes me feel older because the freshmen stay the same age. So welcome to UT.
Thanks, Ashley. I have a feeling you're going to have a handful of DMs waiting for you in the morning. So, but I appreciate you throwing that out there and being willing to respond to students and families so quickly. Stacy, I want to go to you next, of course, for your wrap-up thoughts and just some final things that you want to encourage our new family members to consider as we get towards the final weeks until the semester starts. I have one just quick follow-up question, and I think you might have already responded to it, but I think it's so important. I want to hear from you again on it, just talking about just paying the bill and how the bills are sent out. Where should families and or students look or anticipate the bill?
Sure. So on the MyUTK account or the authorized user portal, we actually call it real time. I had to go to our website because we've changed the wording on it for this year. It's a real-time statement. So that can be downloaded into a PDF and given off to whoever, but that is there. The real-time information, the balance is on the MyUTK account. So there's no need to wait for a traditional billing statement. It's something that can be generated every day. So if the charges change any. So yeah, so that is already out on the MyUTK. It's a real-time statement. You can get that from the MyUTK account or the authorized user portal. I will mention we created one website. I know we try to send everybody to our websites, but it's a lot of information that we're trying to give you. On the One Stop's website, onestop.utk.edu, on the banner, it just says learn about your billing statement. If you click on that, it'll give you everything you need to know about how to get us your 529 payment, how to set up your e-refund account, authorized users, all of it. It's on one page. We condensed everything. So if you'll take a look at that and really look at it. If you still have questions, most definitely reach out to us. But it is on just the one page that might help when we are getting closer to payment due date, which is August 22nd. So yeah.
You read my mind. I was about to jump in and ask one more time.
I know, I never get to talk about anything fun. So yes, payment due date is August 22nd. If we get closer to the 22nd and your aid still isn't correct, we're going to have a little bit of problem trying to get it ready. So most definitely reach out to us. And we are more than happy to help you. We will probably answer the same question 80 times, but we know it's your time first calling us. And so we will walk you through the whole process. Just make sure you reach out to us, use the resources, the websites, or if we're on campus, come see us, that type of thing. But we're super excited you'll be here. And yes, we're going to ask for money. Sorry.
But if you run into Stacy on campus, I promise you, she is a lot of fun and she is great to talk to outside of other things like money.
Yes. Otherwise, everybody just kind of glazes over when we start talking about our office. It's not anything fun. We're sorry.
Well, we appreciate it, Stacy. And then Richard, of course, thanks for going through all of the minute details regarding living on campus this evening. Any wrap-up thoughts from you or topics that we might not have gotten to that you think is really important to quickly gloss over?
Sure. A couple of thoughts. One, the same as the other offices. If you have questions, reach out to us. Housing.utk.edu is the website. You'll find a wealth of information there. We are on all the talks, tubes, grams, and books. So watch your social media. We publish a lot of info there targeted at different audiences. Your best bet, if you need to get a question answered, is housing@utk.edu. That is our departmental email account. We have an army of people watching that email account, and they'll forward it and triage your question to the right person so we can get back to you. I did see a question fly by in the chat that I did want to address. There was a question of what do we need to have with us at check-in? your belongings. But one thing that is unrelated to university housing, but very tied to university housing, two things need to be taken care of before check-in. Immunizations is one. Student health has a long list of immunizations that need to be fulfilled before you arrive on campus. The one that impacts university housing is meningitis. Tennessee state law prevents us from giving your student a key if we do not have their records on file for their meningitis vaccination. So we do not want your student to arrive at the front desk eager to move in and us tell them to go over to student health and make arrangements for a shot. So make sure that piece is taken care of. The other part, Ashley mentioned your vol card on your phone. That is also your access to your room. So make sure that before you move in, you have uploaded your photo to the vol card office and that you have enabled mobile credentials on your phone. That is not an instant process. You can't do that in the parking lot while you're waiting to unload your car. Someone has to review that, authorize the credentials, push it on through. So if you haven't done it yet, do it tonight. Take a picture of yourself and upload it to Volcard so you're ready to move in. And also, we're really excited to have you come and look forward to meeting you.
Thanks for that, Richard. I appreciate you throwing those last pieces in there, as I know they're super important. Folks, I want to thank everybody on the panel tonight for taking time to hang out and to go over a lot of great information. I think we covered the gambit this evening. Family members, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. As you can see on the screen now, all of our departments represented tonight have phone numbers and emails and Instagrams and Facebooks, as many have alluded to. So if you take anything away this evening, take away the fact that everybody here on this campus is here and wants to help and support you and your student during this transition to UT. So even if you are most comfortable contacting Moira in parking, and it's not even a parking question, knowing Moira, she'll probably know the answer, or she'll definitely know the person to send you over to. So, and again, that applies for everybody here at UT. Some other quick wrap-up reminders as we look towards the final weeks of the summer. First and foremost, everybody that has joined us tonight will receive a post-session survey. If you wouldn't mind spending literally 20 seconds to fill that out and give us some feedback so we can improve these sessions for our families moving forward over the next couple of years. Family members, don't forget you have free access to online orientation. The link is there on the screen, preorientation.utk.edu, and you can create a free guest account. There's a lot of great information there, and you can kind of go through it at your own pace. And finally, we highly, highly recommend and encourage our family members to join the Tennessee Family Association. Again, you see the link directly on the screen. It's a fantastic way to just jump in and get involved as a new family member here at UT. The association is a wonderful way to get connected and to stay connected with all things happening on campus during your students' academic career. And then finally, our next Tennessee Family Series is going to be on August 4th. We're going to be focusing on student success and some final thoughts as we are going to be even closer to move-in and the start of the semester. And then last but not least, folks, if we did not get to your question this evening, our panelists are going to try and get to as many as they can, and we'll be reaching out to you if we felt like your question wasn't answered. So just continue to be patient with us, or again, check out many of the websites that were mentioned tonight. Panelists, thank you so much. Once again, you're awesome as always. Family members, have a great rest of the evening and go Vols.